Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you stopped by today. Today in this video, I'm gonna go through my seed haul for the spring and summer garden. I'm so excited that you picked this video to stop by today. If you are brand new to me, my name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee and I'm passionate when it comes to growing food. And so on this channel, we talk about all things gardening, homesteading, DIY, cooking from scratch, food preservation, and sourdough. Those are the main things that we talk about on this channel, all in an effort to help encourage you, inspire you, and motivate you to live a more simple life, a more intentional life, and to be more self-sufficient. And so part of that self-sufficiency is growing food. And so we are one step closer to the spring and summer kickoff garden because my seeds are here. And so I want to go through what I got for this upcoming season, explain to you why I did what I did, just some new things, some old tried and true, some standard things, and we're going to go through that together. But before we jump into that, I want to make sure that you know about my seed starting workshop. That will be on February the 8th. You guys have been asking me about seed starting. If you're new here, I do a seed starting challenge that will be kicking off in the next week or so, where I'll walk you through the seeds that I'm starting each and every week. But this workshop is if you want to learn how to start seeds. If you've been unsuccessful starting seeds, this workshop is for you. If you've never done it before, this workshop is for you. If you've done it, you're like halfway throughout the process, my seedlings died, they're leggy, I got fungus gnats, or when I put them out, they don't survive, they don't do well, this workshop is for you. It's completely virtual. So no matter where you are, you can tune in. I will be live the day of the workshop. If weather permits, I will actually be in my greenhouse and we will do the workshop from there so that you can see a demonstration of how to start seeds, how to grow them, how to maintain them, and all of the topics I'm going to discuss. What seeds to grow, how to actually plant them, what should you be planting them in, what to do when you bring them in your house, light, warmth, temperature, how to avoid some of the common mistakes. I'm going to go over all of it in this 2-hour workshop. So if you know that that is what you need, then go ahead and click the link in the description box. Also, to be the first link in the comment. You can register. The class is $60. Again, that is a small price to pay for a huge amount of information that you're going to receive, as well as materials and something that you will have for a lifetime. Let me tell you, being able to start your own seeds is a game changer. Number one, you're going to save a ton of money. Number two, you're going to be able to grow what you want when you want, and you won't be bound to only being able to grow what you find in the nurseries or in the big box stores. I'm telling you, especially if you have a garden of any size, it is way more economical to start your own seeds than to buy transplants. I remember when I first started gardening 6 years ago and I was buying transplants, I remember then 6 years ago, I would go to like a Home Depot or a Lowe's and they would have the Bonnie plants. Y'all familiar with the Bonnie plants? They have all the transplants. Then it was $3.98 a plant. Fast forward a couple of years, it was $4.98 a plant. And then over the last 2 years, it's been $5.98 a plant. That's $6 for one plant. Y'all, unless you only growing in a couple of containers, that is not cost effective at all. Think about if you buy 10 plants, that is literally $75. And you can buy tons of seeds for $75, okay? You can buy tons of seeds for that amount of money if you know how to start them yourself. And one of the things we're going to talk about in the workshop is what equipment you need and all that good stuff. So if you want to learn how to start seeds, go ahead and click the link below and register. I will be live there to answer all of your questions. You will leave with the confidence on how to start seeds and how to do it successfully, okay? So I cannot wait to see you guys in the workshop. We already have people signing up for the workshop. I have not done a class. Let me see. Yeah, since last year. So I do virtual workshops, usually a couple of times, 2 or 3 times a year, depending on the season and the topic. But this is the first time I've ever done a seed starting workshop. And yes, there will be a replay if you register for the class and you cannot make it, or you just want to go back and watch it over and over again to make sure that you have it right, okay? So let's go over to the table, let's get our seeds, and let's start to go through our seed haul for 2026. So before we jump into the seed haul, let me talk about where I normally buy my seeds from and what are some reputable online seed companies that I've used before year after year after year. Many people, are used to buying seeds like in Walmart or the dollar store or a big box store, and there's nothing wrong with those places. But if you're looking for some online companies, a lot of times you're gonna find greater variety and just different varieties of things to grow. So let me kind of walk you through my top 4 or 5 that I have been using for like the last 4 or 5 years that have been well. So my number 1 company that I order seeds from is Johnny's Seeds. Now Johnny's is pricey. When you try to compare just looking at the price there and then looking at the price at, let's say, like a Baker's Creek. But one of the things that you have to pay attention to is the quantity of the seed in the pack. And so as I was ordering seeds this year, I think that Johnny's had Amish paste and also Baker's Creek had Amish paste. Now, traditionally, Baker's Creek seeds are $3 a pack. That's like the average, $3 or $4. At Johnny's Seeds, you're looking at sometimes between 5 to 7 for just mainstream seeds. And then if there's specialty like greenhouse specifically, then you can pay literally, sometimes $15. Now, you may say that's a lot of money, but I'm going to explain to you on some things why I do that again, and it goes back to what are your goals. But let's take, for example, the Amish paste tomato. I think at Johnny's it was like maybe let's just say $5.75, and then at Baker's Creek it was $3. Now in the Baker Creek packet it was 25 seeds in the pack. For the Johnny Seeds it was, I want to say, 100 seeds in a pack. So when you do the math, if I were to buy the $3 pack at Baker's Creek and I only had 25 seeds, to get 100, I gotta buy 4, which is $12. But I can get 100 seeds in 1 pack of Johnny's, which is $5.75. So you may go to Johnny's site and say, oh my goodness, why are they selling their seeds for $5.75 and Baker Creek has them for $3? Always make sure that you look at the quantity. Now, it does not always work out that way. Sometimes Johnny's is more expensive, but just don't take it at face value is what I'm saying. Look at the number of seeds in the pack, and that goes for any seed company that you're using. But Johnny's is my number 1 place that I buy seeds, and I'll tell you why later on this video and why I specifically like Johnny's. So Johnny's is one. Baker's Creek is another one. M.I. Gardener, Territorial Seed, Urban Farmer, and then High Mowing. Those are usually, and I haven't ordered from High Mowing in quite some time, but I have used their seeds in the past and they have done pretty well. By the time I kind of hit all of those, there's very little that I need from High Mowing, and they may have a couple of specialty seeds that I need that only they may sell. So those are like 5 right there that I trust, that I've used time and time again, and have had generally good success. So if you're looking for some online seed companies, I would say definitely take a look at those 5. I'll go through them again. Johnny Seed, Baker Creek, M.I. Gardener, Territorial Seed, High Mowing, and Urban Farmer. I have also bought seeds from Haas Tools before, and I've always had great luck with theirs. Now, because I have a big space and I'm buying lots of seeds at a time, it's, for the summer, and then I'll buy another big bulk for the fall and winter. I am trying to usually centralize and get most of my seeds at one place so that I can save on shipping. And with Johnny's, if you spend over $200, then you get free shipping because they already high, and then they're gonna charge you like $14 or $15. So for me, I always start with Johnny's and get everything that I can get there so I can get the free shipping because I meet the $200 threshold, and then I will piecemeal from there based on what I need, want, or something new that I want to try. Okay, now when it comes to seeds, let's take M.I. Gardener for example. His seeds are $2 a pack. So a big difference between $2 a pack and $5 or $7 a pack, right? So it really depends on your goals, what you're growing, and what are your goals? So for me, I am trying to grow in abundance. I want high productivity, high production, high quality, and I want great germination. Those are the things that I value, right? Because I have a big space and I'm trying to grow enough of one crop to last me a year until I can grow that crop again. I've talked about that over and over and over. So for me, I want hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes. So because of that, I'm usually, when I'm doing like tomatoes and peppers, I'm usually doing hybrid varieties and not heirloom varieties, because hybrid is going to give me a better, I don't want to say a better product. It's going to give me a more consistent product and it's going to produce more without disease, pest, and all that. Versus an heirloom, it may have a better taste, but it's going to be susceptible to pest and disease way more than a hybrid. So that's number one. Number two, when it comes to production, hybrid seeds are going to produce more overall. And so that is why I'm going with a place like Johnny's. Johnny's is designed for like market growers, people who are growing big, and you can get things in bulk. So if I wanted to get, several hundred seeds, like I can get a pack of 500 seeds if I wanted to, versus in my garden, you can't do that. You're gonna have to buy all these little individual seeds. So that's a huge difference in terms of what are your goals and what are you valuing at this point in your gardening journey, in your gardening season. If I was not about production, if my garden was smaller and I wanted to grow different types of things, then I would err more on the side of, okay, getting cheaper seeds from in my garden, right? Because I don't need that much. So that's one thing I wanted to mention right there in terms of you got to know what your goals are and what you're doing. Okay, so when it came to this season, I only placed 2 seed orders, which is so unlike me, but I only did a big order from Johnny's and I did an order from Baker's Creek. Now, part of that is because when I did my seed inventory, y'all can see all my seeds in those containers back there. When I did my seed inventory, I have a lot of seeds, right? That's no secret. I have a lot of seeds. And so there was not as much that I needed, but then also I had taken advantage of some fall seed sales. And I did a previous seed haul video that I'll pop up here. So in the fall, in my garden, I had a huge sale. I bought a ton of seeds from in my garden back then. I've already done the seed haul on that and I put those seeds away. And then also I got a big thing when I went to Baker Creek. So if you didn't see, I personally visited the Baker Creek seed store back in July. I'll pop that video up here. It was a wonderful, wonderful visit. I learned so much about the company. And then I bought a ton of seeds. $100 worth of seeds, okay? So between those two things, when it came time to buy seeds for the spring and summer season, I did not need as much as I normally do. Now, need versus won't versus you gonna buy it anyway. I mean, it's a gray area. But I didn't venture off and order from like 4 or 5 different companies. Now, I take that back. I also did order from Territorial Seed, but I did not order from Urban Farmer this time. I did not order from Botanical Interest. Not to say that I won't, but I got the majority of what I needed in those 2 places, the Johnny Seed and the Baker's Creek. So we're gonna go through those 2 seed company hauls that I did, but let me tell you what I got from Territorial Seed. So I ordered something different and new this time from Territorial Seed. I actually ordered some of their transplants. So if you don't know, Territorial Seed actually sells transplants. And so I ordered a lemon verbena plant. I've never grown lemon verbena. I've done lemongrass, I've done lemon balm, but I've never done lemon verbena. And so I wanted to try it. And so because they had the transplant, I'm like, you know what? Let me just get the transplant instead of me getting seeds and trying to just do it myself. One, that'll conserve on space. And because I only wanted one to try, that worked out perfectly. And I think it was, I don't know, $5. And then you can pick when it ships. So I had an option of it shipping the first half of either April or May or the second half of April or May. And I chose like the second half of April because that's perfect for my growing season and when I'm going to be planting things out. So I got a lemon verbena, and then there was some other plant that I got that was also a transplant. Oh, they had a jalapeno pepper that I wanted to try called Megatron. Now you guys know I normally grow Craig's Grande by Baker Creek and it does really, really well. But they had that one and I wanted to try it. But instead of me buying a pack of seeds, I decided just to get a transplant. So that way I can isolate it and have that one plant and see how it performs against the Craig Grande. And it seems like there was a third thing that I bought, but it's escaping me. So I did place that small order from Territorial Seed, but all of those are transplants and not seeds. So if you didn't know that they sell transplants, that is a great place to go if you want to try like a one item and you don't want a whole pack of seeds, or you want to try something new and unique, that is a great place to go for that. So that was an order that I placed, and that stuff will be coming at the end of April. Okay. Now let's get into what I ordered from Johnny's. Now, let me tell you what I love about Johnny's, and let me tell you what I don't like about Johnny's. So let me start with what I don't like about Johnny's. Johnny's plain, okay? There's no pictures. Look, they just like getting to the business. They're like, this is for a market farmer. This is for, in my mind, I envision like their target audience is like some man with overalls and a wide brim hat or whatever out in his garden with his tractor sowing hundreds and thousands of seeds, who don't care about no pretty pictures. That's what in my mind, I'm not saying that's true, but in my mind, that's what I picture when I think about Johnny's and probably who they're catering to. They not thinking about little me who loves cute stuff and all of that. So they stuff is plain, okay? Ain't no pictures. So we're gonna start with Johnny's because there is no pictures, and I'll pop some pictures up here for some of them. We'll end with Baker Creek because Baker Creek, they known for their pretty pictures, their pretty catalogs and all of that, okay? So let me put on my glasses so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so on Johnny's, that's what I don't like, is that it's plain. But what I love about Johnny's is they put the germination rate on their seeds. Now, they're not the only ones that do that. I think In My Garden does that, and I think Territorial Seed, they put the germination rate. I like seeing that on the plants because it lets me know, okay, if it's a 97% germination rate, I feel confident that I can just sow one seed. Versus if it's like an 80% germination rate, I may sow 2 seeds. So I like seeing that. And then also Johnny's gives you a ton of information. A ton of information. Now, I don't read it all now, but when I first started gardening, I used to read every line because it tells you exactly what to plant, how to plant, where to plant in terms of spacing. It tells you when to do it, what to look for when harvesting. Like, it gives you a ton of information. So I love that about their packets. The other thing I love about Johnny's is that you can get bulk. And so if I wanted 500 seeds of something, you can do that. They also have what I call specialty seeds, like a pelleted seed. They're going to have that at Johnny's. Also, if you want something that is specific to the greenhouse, so you guys know that I garden in the greenhouse, and so I buy greenhouse specific peppers and cucumbers and tomatoes. They are pricey, but when I tell you the production and the quality is second to none, okay? So let's get into it. So I ordered some more carrot seeds, and I always get Bolero, which is the brand that I like. Not the brand, the variety that I like. It is a storage carrot, and I always get the pelleted seeds, okay? So I got some of that. Now, one thing to note is that when you're buying pelleted seeds, they're only good for a year in terms of their germination because a pelleted seed has like an inorganic coating on the seed, and it just makes it easier for you visible and for you to pick up to plant one individual seed versus scattering a ton of little tiny seeds. So I got some more Bolero because I'm going to do another spring planting of carrots. I got a new zinnia called the Bennery's Giant Golden Yellow. So it looked really pretty. If you don't know, I absolutely love flowers. In my head, I'm a flower farmer too, in my head. But each year I keep expanding the amount of flowers that I grow because I love flowers, okay? So I got that. I also got a tomato that I got last year that performed well, and it's a greenhouse specific tomato. It's called the Cayman, C-A-I-M-A-N. Now, and so let me give you an example of this. So like you look right here, the germination rate says 99%. The seeds that are in here is only 15 seeds, but I feel confident I can sow 1 seed. And if I did 15 plants of this right here, I'm going to have more tomatoes than I know what to do with. Now, this is pricey. So, for example, I don't remember the price, but let's just say it's around $20 for this 1 pack. Now, you may be already throwing stuff at me at the camera. Now, wait a minute. Now, I spend my money, not your money. So, don't. There's no need to judge. There's no need to yell and scream because it was my money, not your money. Okay, but let me tell you why I do this. So, again, when I'm thinking about production, And when I say I grow enough of one crop to last me for the year, what I mean is I want to grow enough tomatoes that I'm able to can, preserve, whatever tomato product that I want, that my family eats, and so that I have enough to last me until I can grow tomatoes again. So for example, I make salsa and freeze it. I make spaghetti sauce and can it. I want to make sure that I have enough on my shelf until I have another harvest of tomatoes come this summer. And so that is what I mean by production. I also want to be able to eat some fresh. I also want to be able to sell some. And so I had to produce a lot of tomatoes in order to do all that. So I spent $20 on this one packet, but in return, what I get is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes, right? So when you do the math, I spent $20, but I'm gonna make, number one, I'm gonna make a lot of money from selling the tomatoes. I shouldn't say a lot of money because that's relative, right? But I can easily make, let's just say I make $100 just on selling some fresh tomatoes, right? A few customers here and there over the course of a summer. Let's just say I make $100. Well, I only spend $20 for the pack. Does that make sense? And if I make $100, all I gotta do is make $20, and that's easy. They ain't number 4 tomatoes. If I sell to the tomatoes, and this is a slicing tomato, so if I sell the tomato for $4 or $5 a piece, all I need to sell is a few, and I've already made my money back, okay? But forget me selling. If I grow hundreds and hundreds of pounds of tomatoes, and I do not have to buy any tomato products at all from the store, this was cheap in comparison, right? How much does a can of diced tomatoes cost? How much does a jar of spaghetti sauce cost? I have already made my money back. So even though it's $20 roughly for this pack of seeds, it gets the job done for my goals, if that makes sense. Now you may say, well, Barbara, you can buy a $2 seed packet from In My Garden and get a beefsteak, but it's not gonna produce like this. How do I know? Because I've already done it. Okay, so that is what I'm saying. This may not be for you because your goals may be different than mine, but I'm just explaining to you why I do this and the results I've gotten. So Cayman is a good one, and I probably will not do all 15 seeds. I really only need to do like 5, right? And I'll be good to go. Okay, again, I got Sun Gold. That's a fan favorite. I've grown it for the last 4 years. It's a cherry tomato that's like orange. It doesn't split. It has good resistance. It tastes really, really good. It's like a party in your mouth. Okay, common, I got some chamomile. I got some Lady Coral lavender. I got a new greenhouse pepper called the Nova. I think this is a red greenhouse pepper. It's specific to the greenhouse. So it can stand high heat and high humidity. I got a lemon basil. I got the Sprinter, which I've done the Sprinter for the last 4 years. It is a red bell pepper. It is a greenhouse specific pepper. So again, it's like $15 or so. There's 25 seeds in here for $15. And I get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bell peppers. They're always big, no disease, no blemishes. They grow extremely well. I've grown them for the last 4 years. And again, I'm able to stockpile. I give away a ton of peppers. I sell a lot of peppers, but I'm able to also freeze and preserve a lot of peppers that I never have to buy peppers from the store unless if I need a fresh pepper that has not been frozen or something like that. That's the only time I buy a pepper. Okay, so that's great. And then when it comes to flowers, zinnias, I bought the Oklahoma salmon. That's a good one. The Juliet is a plum or aroma tomato. I got that. Sakura is a cherry tomato that's specific to the greenhouse. Fan favorite. Have done it for the last 4 years. Another zinnia, Oklahoma ivory. That's a new one for me, so I'm going to try that. But everything in the Oklahoma line I've liked, so I'm sure I'll like that one. Also zinnia, I got an Uproar rose. I'll put a picture up here. It's really, really pretty. And then I also got a celosia, a new celosia, which is bright orange. So every year I kind of think about what color flower palette do I want to have. I'm always looking for like a good white, because I think that white flowers amongst a lot of pretty bright colors like the pinks, the oranges, and the yellows always kind of just gives it a subtle effect, but it also makes it pop. And so I haven't found a good white flower yet that produces really, really well. And so that's why I wanted to try the Oklahoma Ivory. But also the Celosia is Sunday Bright Orange. I thought that would be really, really pretty. You know, some oranges and pinks and yellows. That'd be like a nice, pretty bouquet for the summer. And then the last one that not last one, because I still got a whole another stack. I also got the sashimi cucumber. It is like a long English cucumber that I did for the last 2 years, and it grows really, really well. And again, it's kind of specific. You can grow it outside, but it does really, really well in the greenhouse. So again, when you start your own seeds, you're able to grow these things. Like you buy those long English cucumbers in the store. Those are the ones that's like in plastic. That's more expensive than just like the regular cucumbers. And somebody said, well, man, I wish I could grow those. Well, you can. But they're not going to sell that at the Home Depot. They're only going to sell like the pickling cucumbers or the regular straight cucumbers. They're not going to sell the long kind that you grow that's like an English cucumber. But you can buy it and you can start your own. Okay? So that's the first round of Johnny's. Now let's see what else we got from Johnny's as well. So let's move on to our second set of seeds from Johnny's. We still got quite a bit. Okay. So I have 3 different kinds of eucalyptus. Y'all know that I love eucalyptus. If you've been around, you know that I have eucalyptus that I grew from seed in my tunnel that I grew 4 years ago. So I grow eucalyptus every year. And for the most part, I sell it. It's a huge seller when it comes to plant seedlings. And last year I did save, I only had one left over, and that one didn't grow. It was a small leaf gum. It didn't grow. So I'm going to try to make sure that I save me more than one this time, because the eucalyptus I have in my high tunnel, I think it's Silver Dollar. And when I grew it for the first time from seed, I had no idea it was going to get that big. You guys have seen in my tunnel, it is like, I don't know, 15 feet tall and growing if there was not a top on the high tunnel. But I wanted something smaller. But anyway, I got 3 different kinds. I got Silver Dollar again. That'll be mostly to sell. I got one called Silver Drop, and then I have one called Bookleaf Mallee, which is supposed. I got one called Bookleaf Mallee, which is supposed to be, I think, is a smaller one. It doesn't get as big. So, and as you know, eucalyptus can be difficult to germinate. So it does do well or do better with cold stratification. So I keep them in the freezer. Now, I was out of eucalyptus seeds, and so I had to order these and wait on these. And so I really need to start my eucalyptus seeds on my first round. So they're not going to be cold stratified long, only a few days. We'll see how it happens or what happens. But it usually takes a good 12 to 14 days for eucalyptus to even germinate. So we'll talk about that when we start seeds. So I got these 3 eucalyptuses. I'm going to set these to the side so that I remember to take these in the house when we get done. Then I got something new that I've never done before. It's called Nothstein Dent corn. So this is corn that I'm going to use to hopefully grind into cornmeal with my grain mill. And so if you didn't know, because I just found out, that field corn, the corn that you eat that's edible, is different than the corn that you would use to grind. So I think this one grows and it gets much drier. I've never done it before, so this is my first time. But from what I understand, it gets much drier, so it'll be easier to grind versus field corn, or the corn that you eat, or sweet corn, I should say, the corn that you eat. It doesn't dry, and it would not do well in the grain mill. So I'm going to try that. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens with that. Then I got some more J green beans. Those are like my preferred green beans. That's a standard, a favorite. I got some lemon balm as well. And lemon balm, I sold a lot of it last year, so it was a huge seller. But the lemon balm that I kept for myself did not grow as well as it did the year before. So I'm going to make sure that I do more this year because we use lemon balm a lot in one of our salves. We do sell a lemon balm salve, and let me tell you what it's good for. Lemon balm is, if you use it as a tea, medicinally, it's great for digestion and things like that. But if you use it as a salve medicinally, it's great for any type of skin irritation. As a matter of fact, I used some this morning. I got up this morning and for whatever reason, I just started itching on my arm. I don't know if something bit me, but I was itching. It was red. It was inflamed. I put some lemon balm on it. Within 5 minutes, it was completely gone. I have used it for, ladies, how you have the, this is probably TMI, but you know how you have like in the summertime, you may have like a under your breast, like a rash or whatever from being hot and moist. The lemon balm works wonders. So it's good for any type of skin irritation. We do sell it in our shop if you need some of that, okay? I have a new cucumber called the Gershwin. And so I'm going to try that one. That's a greenhouse. It's a hybrid. It's a specialty cucumber for the greenhouse. Then I got some new marigolds called Bonanza B. Last year, I think I grew probably 100 to 150 marigolds. I sold a ton. We sold them in 6-packs. They were a huge seller. But also I put marigolds. I put a ton more marigolds in my garden than I ever have. And I plan to do that again this year. It's so easy to grow marigolds, especially when you compare to buy them at the store. They're like $3.99. At the store, you can just grow your own. And so I highly encourage you, if marigolds are not on your list, definitely do marigolds. I got some celery. We'll be planting that for the spring. I told you about the Amish paste. Sunflower, the one that I always do, that's the standard, is Pro Cut Orange Excel. I have some other ones as well, but that's the main one that I do. Red Ember is my cayenne pepper of choice. I switched over to this one a couple of years ago. It went great, and so that's the only one that I'm doing now. It has a thicker flesh. It's much bigger than the long, thin cayenne peppers that you normally see for seed. So the Red Ember is a great one to try. What else? Another zinnia. This is the Oklahoma variety. It's golden yellow. So that's really pretty. And then I also have Oklahoma, the Carmine zinnia as well. It's really pretty. And then the last two, I have a Butterfingers, which is a yellow squash. I tried that one last year. It seemed to do okay. And then I have a new tomato that's specifically for the greenhouse. It's called Marmango. Marmango. So I'll put a picture up here at the top. So that is my haul from Johnny's. So there you have it. Now let's move on to my haul from Baker Creek. Now we get to see pretty seed packets, okay? So I got petunia. This is a different kind. It's like frilly on the ends. It's like a pink and white. So last year I grew petunias for the first time from seed, and I had gotten some seeds from the Dollar Tree where they have the 4-packs for $1, and those petunias did great. I had heard that petunias were hard to germinate from seed, but I didn't have any problems whatsoever. I sold petunias. I had plenty of them in my garden. I had them in the GREENSTALK. They did extremely well, so that's one of my new favorites. It's a great flower for like borders, and it's a great flower for the GREENSTALK. So this is called Greetings from Jaromir. Jaromir. Yeah. Okay. Then I have another petunia called Super Bissima Giant Rose. It's in the pink family as well. It's a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna try those. Then I have a new eggplant, which is smaller. It's called a Thai Purple Ribbed. It's like a little small, almost like a little personal size almost. That's interesting. I'm gonna try it and see what happens. Then I also have, this is one that I forgot to talk about, that I snuck in, that I bought. It's something called Summer Savory from M.I. Gardener. I forgot to mention this before. I did have this one. I've never grown it before. Let me know. Is it good for pollination? Is it good to eat? Is it medicinal? Is it just culinary? What does it taste like? If you've grown this before, let me know. Let me know all the things. Is it invasive? Let me know. Then I got some orange thyme. I thought that would be interesting. And I was thinking, you know, thyme is medicinal, as well as culinary. Thyme is really good for congestion and things like that. So I wonder if this will be good like in a tea. So we're going to try it. And I wonder, does it have an orange scent? Let me see what the back of the packet says. Yes, it says fragrant perennial, top choice for baskets, rock gardens, or any location in need of a heady, scented, creeping herb. It's a perfect spiller herb for containers and can make a low-growing ground cover. So yeah, I'm excited to try that. Orange yellow. Okay, this is one that the picture doesn't do it justice, but I saw this when I went to Baker Creek and I fell in love with it. It is called the Cork Scone Red Raven. Y'all, this picture, because I've probably seen this, I'm like, I'm not getting it, that's ugly. But when I saw it in person, it was absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Love that. Then I got some more coleus. Y'all are responsible for getting me into coleus. I didn't think that I liked coleus, but one of you guys, one of the viewers sent me some seeds about 3 years ago for coleus. And I grew it for the first time 2 years ago. And I was like, I really like this. It was like a red and green, like a neon green and a burgundy and pink. And I really liked it, and it grew really well. And it's just a really nice statement flower for your garden. It's like bright and bold. And so now I'm into coleus. And so I saw this one that I thought would be really pretty called Coloca Sunset. It's not your traditional coleus, but I cannot wait to try that. I think that would be really, really nice. And then I also got this one, which is a coleus. It's Coloca Red. I think that'd be so pretty. Now, again, I told you that I love flowers. Now, even if you don't love flowers, I highly encourage you to grow flowers because they're great for pollination and bring the bees to your garden. And it's a great companion to your vegetables and to your herbs. So definitely, maybe you don't go all out like I do, but if you're going to have any flower, if you're just going to do one, I would highly recommend the marigold. If you're going to do two, I recommend the marigold and zinnia. If you're going to do three, marigold, zinnia, and sunflower. Those are like the top three. Then you can get into some of these other fancy ones, okay? Then I got this rudbeckia. I haven't grown rudbeckia in probably 3 years, so I'm excited to bring it back. I think this is pretty. This is called Caramel Rudbeckia. I think that's pretty. Then I got some more Amish paste. Then I got this pepper right here, which is called the Ahi Cachuca. It's supposed to be not as hot as a habanero. It's actually, it says it's mild, much less hot than a jalapeno. So it's not very hot at all. So it has an addictive flavor, it said, but it's great for beans, soups, and frito. So I thought that would be a nice flavorful pepper to try. So, and I think they're pretty. So we're gonna try that. Then I got some more lavender, torch minty ice. I think that one is pretty. I'm gonna add this to my freezer because lavender likes to be cold stratified. This is a new one. This is tomato orange hat. So this is what they call a micro tomato or a dwarf tomato. So this is perfect for you if you are working with a small space. So if you are doing tomatoes in a GREENSTALK, in a pot, or something like that, then I highly recommend that you get like a micro or dwarf tomato. Now you can grow bigger tomatoes in the GREENSTALK, especially if you have the original, but this is a perfect size for like pots and containers. I've never grown it before, so I'm speaking as if, you know, it's gonna grow well, but the concept is a micro or dwarf tomato is a great one. So this is called Orange Hat. Let me know if anybody has ever done this one. Okay, so I'm going back to this. This is Gomphrena. I did Gomphrena about 3 years ago. It grew well. I'm not a huge fan of Gomphrena and the way it looks, but I picked this one because it was white. And again, I'm trying to find me a white filler flower to go in my bouquets and arrangements and things like that. So that's why I picked it. I'm not a huge fan, but I think if it grows, it'll get the job done. And when I grew Gomphrena before, it grew well. So we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back. This is one that I tried for the first time last year, which is the Yellow Monster. Now, In the very beginning of the season, it did absolutely nothing. Like, it struggled. Like, it had like little small leaves. It wasn't growing. But at the end of the season, so like mid-August until like 1st of October, it put out the hit. Like, I could not keep up. It gave me so many bell peppers. So I'm going to try it again because it did produce, but it produced late. I'm going to see if it does the exact same thing this year or if we have better success early in the year. But it made up for what it didn't do in the beginning of the year because it produced a ton at the end. And that's Yellow Monster. And they are big. This is a new nasturtium. Nasturtiums, I have a love-hate relationship with nasturtiums. This is Cherry Rose Jewel. They are great for the garden. They're great for pollination. They're great to attract the bees. And they're also good at keeping pests away. They are edible. I don't eat them, but they are edible. So if you're making like a charcuterie board, or if you're doing a salad, you want like a pretty edible flower, this could do the trick. They have like a peppery flavor, almost like a strong arugula, which I don't like. But I wanted to try a different color. And so that's what we did. Then this is one that I have not grown in 2 or 3 years, so we're bringing it back. So it's funny how you can grow something and then you don't grow it and then you want to bring it back because I heard somebody talking about it. I'm like, oh, yeah. I have grown that before. This is the pineapple tomato. It didn't do great the last time that I grew it. It did okay. It wasn't like a huge producer. Again, this is an heirloom. All Baker Creek sales are heirlooms. They don't sell hybrids, I don't think. So again, heirlooms don't produce as much as a hybrid, okay? But I'm gonna try this one again. And then of course, Baker Creek gives you free seed. So these are the 2 seeds they sent me. The Purple Prince Zinnia, which is pretty, and then Persian Carpet Zinnia, which is like a small micro zinnia. So those are all of our seeds, y'all. All of our seeds that we just bought. We got 6-7 cases of seeds. So we are going to be good to go. I'm going to take my lavender, my eucalyptus, and go ahead and put them in the freezer. I already have some lavender in there, so I can definitely get started. The eucalyptus is going to get started, whether it's cold stratified or not. It's just going to have to take a little bit longer. But whatever I don't use, I'll keep in the freezer. And that'll help it germinate a lot quicker. But what you can expect over the next couple of videos, so one of the next videos will be me showing you my process of how I get ready for the seed starting challenge. And so the challenge, if you don't know, every single week I will go do not a live video. Every single week I will upload a video of me starting my seeds for the week. So I will tell you what seeds I'm starting for the week. I will be using my seed starting calculator. So again, if you don't have that, grab that. It's $6.95. It's an instant digital download. So go to livingfoodsfarm.com under digital resources and you will see it there. Basically, you put in your last frost date and it will populate everything for you. So I use that to figure out what to plant when. And so every single week I will be literally just showing you what I'm planting. So that's what I call the seed starting challenge, because I encourage you to do the same. But we have a couple of more things to do before we can start seeds. And so you'll see that over the next video or so before we start doing the seed starting challenge videos. Also, the seed starting workshop is if you want to know how to start seeds, or if you've had repeated issues and you need troubleshooting, you need for me to kind of help you. It won't be one-on-one because it'll be a group class, but you'll get more help than what I can do versus, on YouTube when we can't, really talk or communicate. So that is on February the 8th. Certainly, if you want to be a part of that class, the link will be in the first description. So y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me as we kind of look through my seeds and we're getting ready. We are getting ready for the spring and summer garden season. I hope that you got your seed orders in. Let me know if there's seed companies that I didn't mention that you use on a regular basis. Please put it down below so that I can see and everybody else can see. And y'all, remember, this is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.